of the places. They were joining us at 5 in the morning, praying if this is what's God's vision for all of us. Yes, thank God and all of the leadership that Cedrick led us, we became one. We became one in so many different fronts. But above, I think, all of it was we held on to who we were, but at the same time understood that the good things about us can make the bigger whole much, much better. And that's what put all of us together. There are many sacrifices, and I don't speak for all of us and all of the people at Santa Ana, but that we held on. We were taught to respect each other, each other's space. There were people who did not agree with what we did. And I think we will talk about the downtown site. We thought from one perspective that will be the location fit for Pacific Islanders ministry, for an example. We prayed, and it was not just the Tongans, but we asked the quarterly meetings, the Tongan ministry churches to pray. Maybe that's what God is telling us. That's our central point for all of us to meet. We can fit there in the quarterly meetings and all of that stuff. But for months and months of prayer, we came to the conclusion that God is saying, no, it's not for that. And I think we will see what God has done in downtown side of Santa Ana. But I think the most important thing was the journey. We kept who we were in respect of each other, and at the same time, put all the good things that we felt and knew that we valued, put them together, and the whole became much, much better and bigger for all of us to enjoy. Thank you. Thank you for the time. I hope I didn't mess it up.
No, that's good. That's good. It's good. Thank you. And so the decision was made. The congregation came together and, as Saia said, prayed relentlessly about what do we do, to really move this forward. How do we really become the hands and feet of God in Santa Ana? And so the decision was made. Well, we're going to repurpose the downtown site. We have a whole city block downtown Santa Ana. And we have another, I forget how many acres, over on Grand Avenue. We don't need both, but the decision was made to release the downtown site, but to do something that we could be proud of. And so for those of you who have your devices and you're able to get online, I challenge you right now to just go to your internet browser. And for those of you online, you can do this even faster than the rest of us in the room. But I want you to go to your browser and type in Santa Ana. And for those of you for whom Spanish is your first tongue, I'm sorry for butchering Santa Ana. I'm from Alabama, so that's how it sounds. Type in Santa Ana Legacy Square and just press enter. Santa Ana and then Legacy Square. And I want you to see what has come of this letting go, of a decision when the people of God said, we're going to let go so that we can be who God is calling us to be. You get this thing that's being raised up right now, just a few miles from here, downtown Santa Ana, on the site of the old First UMC site. And I'll tell you what it says for those of you who are sitting around going, what in the world are they seeing? Well, I'll tell you what they're seeing. They're seeing a website for National Core, which is a developer that we are in partnership with there. And what it says is Legacy Square will be a 100% affordable, will be 100% affordable, featuring 93 beautiful apartment homes, more than 1,750 square feet of ground level flexible space, and a 3,800 square foot community center to serve a neighborhood hub for events and activities. The community will provide housing for individuals and families with household income qualifying maximums at various set-asides. That means poor folk can live there, y'all, okay? From 30 to 60% of the area median income, with 33 apartment homes reserved as permanent supportive housing for individuals experiencing homelessness or at-risk homelessness. That's what's happening on a site because a congregation came together and said, in order for us to be one, in order for us to truly be the hands and feet of God, we have to let go. We have to let go of some things that we believe, that we have deemed important for us. But there's something that's important for those who are not yet a part of this fold. And so for those of you who live north of here or east of here or even west of here, when you leave tomorrow or Sunday, I challenge you to just drive downtown Santa Ana and see what's being raised there on that site. Pray over it as you see it. Even if you don't drive by, pray about it as you hear about it right now, and know that all things are possible with God. We just have to do our part. Let go of those things that are holding us back. Let go of those things that are keeping us from being whom God has called us to be. Yes, it will be painful, but there's some joy on the other side of that pain. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. And so I'm going to invite Erin back to share us, to lead us through this next piece.
So as we close out this time of service and of reflection, I just want us to spend some time considering the fact that God is still calling us. Despite whatever the future may hold, we may not know what's in the future, but God is still calling us even in this moment, even right now. Right now, we have the opportunity to be the hands and feet of Christ in the spaces where we are, in our churches, in our communities. God is still calling us. And yet, we struggle. We struggle with all kinds of things in our churches, in our lives. We feel spiritually hungry. We want to show up, God. We want to be your hands and feet, but how can we do that when there's so much violence in the world? How can we be your hands and feet when we feel like we have nothing to offer, or we've been told that who we are is not enough? How can we be your hands and feet when we are so parched? How can we offer a word of encouragement, some nourishment to another when we ourselves struggle to feel nourished? And so I want to end this time with an altar call to say that the word says, all you who are heavy laden, come, and I will give you rest. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be fed. Just as God is calling us now, God is the source and supply of all that we need. And so there are some cards here, and I've got Denise, where are you? I saw, there you are. Denise and Dion, can you come and grab these cards and some of these pins? What we'd like to do as a way to just consecrate this space and this time where we as a collective body are saying that we commit ourselves to ending spiritual, physical hunger, that we are willing to let go, to offer up the things that are holding us back from stepping into the calling of God to be the hands and feet of Christ. So when you get a card, I just want you to write down, what are you hungry for? What are the longings of your heart? Where are the places where you feel discontent, unease, anger about the realities that we face? Bring them to God so that we can be freed in order to be those hands and feet. And I'm going to just give you a moment to just write down your own thoughts. God, I am hungry for, and put them on the card. And when you are ready, and if you're online, I don't know if there's a chat function, but you can also participate in this. You can write your own card and participate in this virtually. Take a card, write down, God, I am hungry for. And when you're ready, we'll give you about 3 minutes so that the cards can go around. And then we have 3 containers. Oh, what happened? I'll go get them. We had 3 containers sitting here. Something happened to them. All right, so we'll hold on to your card and, okay, so then, Okay. All right, so so just spend a couple of moments while we get the containers, and then when you're ready, fold it up and bring it and put it in the container, and we're going to pray over it. We're going to keep it here so that as we come back tomorrow and end out our time together as an annual conference, we bring our hungers to God so that we can be available to attend to the hungers of the communities that we're called to serve. A card should be coming to you soon, and if you don't get one, just raise a hand and we'll make sure you get one.
While you are writing that God I am hungry for, while you're writing those, let me read these words from Matthew's gospel. You've heard them. Happy are people who are hopeless, because the kingdom of heaven is theirs. Happy are people who grieve, because they will be made glad. Happy are people who are humble, because they will inherit the earth. Happy are people who are hungry and thirsty for righteousness, because they will be fed until they are full. Happy are people who show mercy, because they will receive mercy. Happy are people who have pure hearts, because they will see God. Happy are people who make peace, because they will be called God's children. Happy are people whose lives are harassed because they are righteous, because the kingdom of heaven is theirs. Happy are you when people insult you and harass you and speak all kinds of bad and false things about you, all because of me. Be full of joy and be glad, because you have a great reward in heaven. In the same way, people harass the prophets who came before you. You are the salt of the earth. But if salt loses its saltiness, how will it become salty again? It's good for nothing except to be thrown away and trampled under people's feet. You are the light of the world. A city on top of a hill can't be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a basket. Instead, they put it on top of a lampstand, and it shines on all who are in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before people, so they can see the good things you do and praise your God who is in heaven. If we could just hold the room while people are bringing forth their hungers. So, friends, we continue on this journey toward ending spiritual and physical hunger. Part of that is taking care of business, sharing in the work that is necessary to meet the needs of those around us. But in the midst of that, we also have our own hungers, which we have represented here in these spaces and however those online have named theirs. Now, we're not going to read through these. We're not going to set them on fire. We're not going to do any of those things, but we're going to leave them here so that you can be reminded that as you hunger, we long together. We serve together. We love together. We experience sorrow and joy together. And so this vision that is set out before us, yes, it is a calling for us, that we get to join in together, to be together in this work that leads us to a preferred future of ending spiritual and physical hunger in and for ourselves and in and for and with others. So this is how we close out our time today. To remind those of you who signed up for the celebration dinner, that'll be upstairs in the Catalina room. For others, you're free to roam about Costa Mesa to do whatever you need to do to take care of feeding your body. And then we'll just follow the schedule as it's printed. All right? But I'm going to invite you to stand now as you're able. And if you're able or so inclined to extend a hand or at least look toward these containers that hold these hungers. And we say, dear God, receive them. It's no secret to you and no secret to us. But dear God, we ask you, fill us with your love, with your grace, and with mercy. Bless us as we go. Amen. Go in peace, friends. If they don't know